It's the Daylight Midnight Show.
Hello and welcome. Later on in the show, I'm going to be subjecting myself to this. It's not only fish paste, it is a jar of salmon paste that only costs 47 pence. So you can only imagine the quality of the fish product within it. But I'm going to be eating that later in a sandwich with some salted peanuts. So stick around for that. Very apprehensive about that, which might be why I'm feeling so fragile. I'm going to leave our indicator set at fragile. Worried about eating fish paste again, because the last time was close to vomit live on the camera. So I'm not looking forward to that at all. But also, it's just been one of those weeks. I always said I was going to be honest about how I'm feeling and thinking and how my life is going. And there's a few things happening at the moment that I feel I'm just not quite in control of. I don't know if you ever feel like that, where life is happening around you and you're just kind of juggling it and keeping your head above water without feeling like you've got any direction. I don't know if that makes sense. So that's where I'm feeling today, so I'm going to leave that set at fragile. We're going to move on to our snake of the week then, which is how we start all the different shows. And the first thing I'm going to point out is you might notice the white wall of wonders looks slightly different. Got slightly decimated by the weather. I was away for a couple of days earlier this week and I left the windows open, just very, very slightly because it had been so hot. And obviously the wind direction was so that it came straight through the windows and caught this, the Ophidian fridge freezer that we've got. And the paper was everywhere. I mean, these poor guys were like 30 feet across the floor. And I started picking them up, trying to put them in the right order, trying to put them back up on the white wall of wonders. And I thought, do you know what? Maybe this is a sign from the gods of art telling me, Greg, just stop doing this stuff. You're embarrassing yourself. Stop trying to draw snakes. But I've kind of reached a bit of a compromise with myself. So instead of putting it back up there, and instead of giving up completely, I'm going to do what I said I would do a couple of weeks ago, which is I'm going to get a folder for them and I'll take them all off over the course of the next week and I'll put them all in that folder and I'll just leave the ones up that I do each week. So with that, let me show you this week's effort. Now last week I did this and I wasn't very happy with it, but looking at it now, I think this is probably 4 levels better than this, which is what I've done this week. Now if you remember, I said I was going to start trying to do it a bit smaller to see if I could get more control. I mean, I just don't like this at all. Maybe I say that every week. Maybe my initial reaction to everything is it's not perfect, so it's pointless. And over the course of the week I get to like it more. But I just don't know what I'm doing anymore with these. I thought if I stuck to the same snake and made it smaller, I would get better as the weeks went on, and I don't feel like I am. So I just don't know where I go with this now. So any art students or art teachers, do please get in contact with me and let me know. I might now go back to the original idea, which was to try a different one every week and hope they just get better as time goes on. Because I just don't feel like these cartoony ones are getting anywhere. Maybe I'm just not giving it the right time. Maybe that's the lesson I'm learning. But from that to that, I feel like it's a bit of a step backwards. And I still think this one is probably my favourite. So I'll just decide what I'm going to do, and I'll probably do what I always do, which is leave it till the last minute, quickly draw a drawing that I don't like, and then stick it up on the door anyway. So let's leave that there for now. I'm not happy with my snake. From snakes to dinosaurs, I've written myself a note here that says Jurassic Park merch. A few weeks ago, I can't remember which episode it was, I wore a very old Jurassic Park t-shirt. You could probably see the collar was getting very, very frayed. But I love that t-shirt and I love that film. And I've noticed since that a lot of people are wearing Jurassic Park merchandise this summer. I'm not saying those two things are related. I'm not saying that I wore it for a show and suddenly people want to wear them again. I'm just saying it's obviously not just me that loves that film and likes the t-shirt. And probably because I wore it then, I'm starting to notice it, because that's how these things work, isn't it? If you're thinking of buying a Volvo, you suddenly see them everywhere. There aren't more Volvos around, you're just more tuned into it. So maybe I was just tuned into the Jurassic Park stuff. But it's just great to know that 32 years after the film was released, the impact is still such that people want to go around sort of representing it on clothing. And I had a chance to see it a couple of weeks ago. There's a local cinema to me that was doing a Steven Spielberg retrospective. Yeah, showing a lot of his old films. And I got to go and see Jurassic Park on the big screen for the first time since 1993. And it was wonderful. And it reminded me of that brilliant first experience where, having been a lover of dinosaurs when I was younger, I finally got to see one appear in front of me. And it just felt great. And that film still holds up. And I've forgotten how good the sound was on the film. To actually hear it in the big screen with state-of-the-art speakers, it sounded fantastic. And I don't think the soundtrack has been changed since. They haven't upgraded it. It's still the original recording and the original effects that they did. And it sounded absolutely brilliant. So I really, really enjoyed it. And thank you to my fellow Jurassic Park lovers for wearing the t-shirts out and about. Now I'm going to reach over for my my guitar because I've been carrying on my efforts with my anti-blues blues song. I started this last week and we kind of made a bit of it up live on the show, where I had an idea ages ago to write a song about the blues, where the only reason the guy has the blues is because he hates the blues, but he's got to write a blues song. And we came up with a couple of verses last week, and I think I've kind of finished it. Just this morning before I started filming this, I've written what I think is like the final verse. So I think this basically covers it. So you're not going to see me playing the guitar unless I alter the camera slightly. I suppose I could try that for a minute, but just to show you that I'm not playing this from a track, I'm actually giving it a go. So I've got the lyrics down there. I'll put this back up again so you can see more of my beautiful face. I'm going to give this a go though, so I haven't practiced this much, and anytime I have I've made mistakes, so be prepared that this won't be a perfect rendition, but this is our sort of Daylight Midnight Show anti-blues blues song as it is at the moment. Here we go. You asked me to write you a song, but the genre that you've chosen makes me feel all wrong. To be honest, I've never been a fan of the blues. I've got those someone's trying to make me write a blues song blues. I like a bit of reggae, I like a bit of rap, but when I hear the blues I just think it's crap. I took the job on cause I really need the cash. Writing this blues song is bringing me out in a rash. I got the blues, I got the blues song blues. I like composing classical and jiving with jazz, but anything with blues just lacks a certain pizzazz. The lyrics always seem to be a litany of bad news. Trying to write a blues song is the only thing that gives me the blues. I got the blues, I got the blues, I got the blues, I got the blues song blues. I've got those trying to write a blues song is giving me the blues, blues. I got the blues. Yeah, so there you go, that's where it is at the moment. I think it sounds better if you've got 3 or 4 different musicians playing it, but I don't have any with me, so that's what I'm thinking. Any comments welcome. Is it clear? I did wonder when I finished it, it needs to be a bit more bluesy, and it needs to be a bit more, I need to make it clearer at the end that the guy has ended up with the blues because he's writing a blues song. I don't know how many times I've said the word blue and blues on this show now, but it's probably up to about 457. But any suggestions would be more than welcome, but I'm quite proud of the fact that about this time last week we hadn't even started doing that, and now we've kind of completed the song. So that's something that's happened live on the show, apart from the last verse which I wrote just before the show, but you know what I'm trying to say. Right, let's get on with our taste test of the week then, the bit that I have been dreading. Last week the colander of culinary charms threw up bread, fish paste and salted peanuts, so effectively I'm going to have a fish paste sandwich. I'm dreading opening this because the smell last time was repulsive. This is a bit of bread that's actually been in the freezer, so it's gone a little bit funny. I don't want to smell it. Oh, this is just... Oh, it smells like cat food. And not like decent cat food that you give your cat because you love it, but cheap, horrible, nasty cat food that you give your cat when he's been a naughty boy and torn up the curtains and peed on your pillow, and you think, no, you're not getting the decent food, you're getting the rubbish food. That smells awful, and I'm going to put it in my mouth. At least it's not as greasy as the last one, the oil went everywhere. Right, so the peanuts are going to have to carry a lot of the weight on this one, I think. So let me do it. I'm not going to try and drown the taste of the salmon paste, but I always say you should have like a good mix of everything. I'm not sure this bread's completely defrosted, so there you go. You've seen me make it. Let me bring this back up again so you can actually see what I'm about to do. I'm just going straight in. I can't think about this too much. Fish paste, bread and roasted peanuts, salted peanuts. Oh, mummy. Again, with most of these that I've had to do for this, the texture combinations are horrible. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to myself that I ever put fish paste on there. I thought it would be funny. I thought it might come up once. How do people eat this stuff? it was kind of hidden in the shop, and I had to ask someone to find it for me. She said, "Oh, I love this stuff. I have it in my sandwiches when I come to work." And I thought, well, if it smells like that, I'm glad I don't work with you. But how do you put this stuff in your mouth and enjoy it? Hey, we all have our individual tastes. I'm sure there are people who look at stuff that I eat and think, why is he having that? But that is so bad. Okay, it's done though. So let's work out what horrors I'll be putting myself through next week. 32 different ingredients on bits of paper. They go in the colander of tuna nil chance. We mix them up. I take out 3 at random. Those 3 are what I have to eat together next week. Oh, I need help with this. Oh man. I feel like my hands are shaking as my body's trying to like. Anyway, so that's in the no column, by the way. I said there'd be a yes or no for whether they worked as a taste combination. That's a definite no. So next week we'll be having the following 3 items. There's actually 2 together here, but you know what? I'm going to use those 2. Oh no, there's just 1. So peanut butter. We're going from salted peanuts to peanut butter. Oh, the paste is just stuck to my teeth. The trouble is the bread's gone, the peanuts have gone, but the fish paste is stuck to my gums and it's awful. A wine gum. So peanut butter, wine gum. So far, I like this combination. Let's see what we have. It'd be good if we could get one out that we haven't had before. Okay, 32 different ingredients. I'm only pulling 3 of them out every week. So I suppose there's a 1 in 10 chance that they're going to come out again, and that's the 3rd time I've had fish paste. So next week, peanut butter and fish paste, which you would put in a sandwich, but I'm not having them in a sandwich, I'm having them on a wine gum, or maybe I'll put 2 wine gums together. There's no base for it, but anyway, that's what I'm going to be taking next week. Another one for me to absolutely dread. And I had to name it as well. I said every week I'd name it, so fish paste, bread, and peanuts. What would you call that dish? Fish paste and peanuts, a waste, and drives me nuts. That's awful, but so is the taste. I'll see you next week. Have a great 7 days.